Well, Zinchenko has gone ahead to link up with Mudryk at the national team of Ukraine, and they are training together in there for you. That's part of the story that we're going to tackle today. Then, finally, the medical team of Arsenal has gone ahead to release a statement of Tomiyasu being out and his season coming to an end. That's it. Remember, I did that story, I think, in the morning, and I told you that Tomiyasu's season is done. Most of you doubted me, and now you have what we call the news coming in from the source of the medical team of Arsenal. And Zinchenko, Gabriel Magalhaes, and very many other Arsenal players have gone ahead to wish him a quick recovery from his rehabilitation to see that he really comes back fit and better to set the ball running. So, Rokani David is my name. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's get this rolling in here for you. Now, Zinchenko is the captain of the Ukraine national team. And remember, Mudryk is one of those players that Arsenal were in for. And what showed that Arsenal was really nearing the signing of Mudryk is that most of Arsenal players went ahead and followed Mudryk on Instagram. When this deal fell off, all those Arsenal players went ahead and unfollowed Mudryk. Shows you how bitter they were, and they were excited about the player. Zinchenko was talking to him on a regular basis, and he was one of those people that were really trying to convince him to come to Arsenal. And I believe right now Mudryk is really regretting for the decision he made to go ahead and really join Chelsea, because I think if he told Shakhtar Donetsk that even if Arsenal is getting you 95 million euros, that's where I'm going, and he was really adamant and he stood on his word, they would have told him, all right, come to go to Arsenal and find means of really getting this deal done and dusted. So Chelsea came in through, convinced him, and he changed his decision at the later date. So it was really ugly for a player known as Mudryk, because even right now at Chelsea, he's really having bad spells. He's not that player that he would have been while at Arsenal. And I've done very many stories of comparisons of Mudryk and Trossard, but I believe if Mudryk was at Arsenal, he would have been a hit. He would have hit the ground running, because I saw him play his first game for Chelsea against Liverpool, and he was really doing great. But because of the frustrations coming in from the manager, his fellow players, not having a player to really resonate with at the club, I think it did him bad. But if at all he had come in at Arsenal, the entire players were excited to really get him at the club. The national team captain of Ukraine, that is Zinchenko, was there, so he wouldn't have gotten hardships to settle in at Arsenal. Why? He would have been even staying with Zinchenko for some time until he got a place to be. He would have found a place to call home, away from home, in Zinchenko, because Zinchenko was already settled up at Arsenal. Reason being, he was with Gabriel Jesus, and Jesus was already a player at Arsenal, and then Jesus had already settled up with his fellow Brazilian players that has always been playing with the national team, that is Gabriel Magalhaes and Martinelli. So the place was not new to him, that's why he settled in immediately. And I think Mudryk would have been favored by the presence of Zinchenko to put him in an environment that he really fits. Because remember, for the very first time, he's traveling from Ukraine to come and play for a side known as Chelsea in London. You get? He doesn't have friends in London, and I think he would have had a very good setup at Arsenal. So to me, I believe he's still regretting till now, but obviously today they've linked up with Zinchenko in the training of the national team. Remember, Ukraine is going to play against England and very many other teams, and that is Zinchenko putting it to Instagram, and that is Mudryk and Zinchenko tussling it out and trying to warm up, and they are really doing together. I think it was intended because they wanted to really break the internet, that a player that never went to a team that wanted him and went to Chelsea is now teaming up with the player where he was supposed to be going, and that is Zinchenko, obviously putting it to there. And Shakhtar came in and commented on the photo, but obviously they threw in comments. Others were saying Zinchenko and the fan. So it looked very interesting when Zinchenko found himself in a position of really partnering up with a player called Mudryk at the national team. But can you just imagine the conversation they are really having? I think the conversation is really interesting. I cannot insinuate, but there can't miss out. There can't miss out a question from Zinchenko that, but why did you join Chelsea? You see, we are going to the Champions League. We are winning the Premier League. I think Zinchenko is trying to go on and really throw those pinching words to Mudryk, but Mudryk looks like had nothing to do, and he has no answer to that. Now, as I told you yesterday, that Arsenal has gone ahead and obviously confirmed that Tomiyasu is going to undergo a surgery and he's going to be out until the end of the season. And the Arsenal website has gone ahead to really reveal us the following: that following his substitution during last Thursday's UEFA Europa League match, subsequent assessments have confirmed that Tomiyasu sustained a significant injury on his right knee. Tomiyasu has had a successful surgery in London on Tuesday and will be ruled out of the remainder of the season. Everyone at the club will now be working hard with Tomiyasu so he can join pre-season training ahead of next season. So that is Tomiyasu for you. And if I told you to remember, well, last year it was around the same period of time, March, when he got an injury, that ankle injury. Though for the ankle injury, he was out for 4 weeks. Then he returned, played like 4-5 games. He went back to injury. And in the preseason, he was injured. So it looks like he's an injury-prone player. And I think they need to do something special for him to see to it that he gets back to the levels that are supposed to be knowing him on. But after that statement was issued, his fellow players of Arsenal went on their Instagram accounts and obviously wished him a quick recovery. The first was Zinchenko, come back stronger, brother. Tomiyasu, that is Zinchenko for you. You see it very well. That's the Insta story he put on his Instagram, wishing him a quick recovery. Then Gabriel Magalhaes, he just put him up and put there the emoji or the symbol of love, the heart sign and the prayer sign, telling him that we are praying for you and we love you. Just try to hurry back and be early for the start of the preseason. So that's what is happening for a man known as Tomiyasu, out until the end of the season. How is Arsenal going to go ahead and really tangle it with? Because Arsenal needs to really get tangible results from the season, and anything tangible less than a trophy, it won't really equate to how much energy Arsenal has put in this season. But the going out of players like Zinchenko, calling for the manager of Mikel Arteta to be so much creative and improvise on what he's going to be doing next. Because if at all he doesn't, the trophy might slip out of his hands, and that position is really crucial. That's why you saw to it that Thomas Partey was seen playing as a right back in the game of Crystal Palace, as Arsenal played that team at Emirates, and they beat it by 4-1. So that is Tomiyasu for you. He's out and is really out for good until the end of the season. That's when he's going to be back. So let's wait and see how Mikel Arteta is going to react to that. But I think he's having enough time to ponder about it, because we are getting back into action in the Premier League on the 1st and 2nd. Arsenal is playing on the 1st and they are playing against Leeds, and it's going to be at Emirates. So it shows you how good Arsenal is really going to get into that position, because he has to leave Ben White as a right back. Now, who is going to be playing as a central defender? Because even William Saliba might be out for some 2-3 weeks, and if at all God helps them and returns on the game of Liverpool, that will be better. But I think there are 2 games that you would love to see Saliba play. The game against Liverpool and the game against Manchester City. If it takes Arsenal to really inject William Saliba painkillers, I think they have to do it. Get Saliba on, play those 2 games. The others, I think Rob Holding can handle. He can handle Newcastle, he can handle Brighton, he can handle West Ham, Southampton, Leeds. There is Chelsea he can handle. Which other team hasn't Arsenal played? Nottingham. Now the 8th team that Arsenal hasn't played. What's the name of that team? I was trying to forget a little bit. But I think those are the teams that are going to play. So I think let's wait and see how that's going to happen in a side known as Arsenal. But let's go to the man known as Bukayo Saka, a player that is in contention to really win the Player of the Season trophy alongside Haaland, if at all they find themselves winning the Premier League. And that is Bukayo Saka. Reported to the training session of England yesterday, and obviously that's how he's really training with the English national team. That is him with Calvin Phillips, and I know in that camp of England they're really trying to really talk to one another that we are winning the trophy, and those of are telling them we are not winning it. You are not winning it. That is James Maddison alongside Bukayo Saka. Then Bukayo Saka doing his own solo training in there, where the England team is really training to prepare for Italy and Ukraine in the upcoming qualifier games of the UEFA All Euros 2024. So your reactions to Zinchenko linking up with Zinchenko Mudryk are welcome in the comment section below. What do you think about Tomiyasu, and what solution do you think Mikel Arteta is going to find for that right back position of Arsenal in the absentia of Cedric Soares, who would have come in through and obviously did the needful into that position? And Bukayo Saka, what's your thought about Bukayo Saka and how he's going to perform for England against Italy and Ukraine? I sign out for now. See you later, and may the Almighty God bless you abundantly. Good morning and good night.